Okay, now that we've hashed over foreign investments, let's talk about the number one investment right here in the United States. And of course, I'm talking about real estate. The one thing we all have in common is we all want a piece of it, or we all need it to live on, period. Real estate. American real estate, even in its current depressed cycle, is still our investment of choice in this country. We are addicted to real estate. We love real estate. We will always buy real estate. Can we afford it is the question. Right now, it is a big question mark. The biggest problem in the American real estate market today is quite simply price. It has not yet hit the bottom. The bottom is far, far away, in my opinion. And we're not going to see any rebound at all, I mean serious, honest to God, reliable rebound, until well after 2012. There's no doubt about that now. None whatsoever. Now, how do I say that? Why do I say that? It's because this is what I watch the most, every day, all day long. I watch real estate. Being a real estate auctioneer, I see real estate in a different view than the average, let's say, realtor or even real estate investor. I see it as a commodity. It's what it is to me. It is simply a commodity. Now, I love my house. I'm hooked. My house is special, just like yours is. But for the most part, real estate is simply a commodity, and we're seeing a very rare economic time in where we have inflation. Let's face it. Don't believe the BS that there's no inflation or there's low inflation. Bullshit. We have some pretty serious inflation already. We're going to have worse inflation. At the same time, we have deflation in our real estate market, and other equities are depreciating in value. A good example is the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is grossly inflated. Grossly inflated. No way it should be as high as it is. Those equities just are not worth that kind of money. They're being buoyed by a very few, very strong equities that are keeping the bulk of the Dow Jones up. And this phenomenon, and of course government backstopping, the combination of a few very strong stocks in combination with the government backstopping, the Bernanke backstop strategy, is what's keeping the Dow where it is, period. That's why it's so high. The same factors happening in real estate. Between government backstopping, foreclosure, foot dragging, banks holding large equity pools, asset pools, where they're not releasing them, or the so-called shadow market. This, coupled with some regional markets being strong, the New York City, the Beltway, the Philadelphia regional suburban market still remaining fairly strong, these things are combining statistically to make it look like real estate stronger than it really is. In fact, I don't think I've seen it weaker. And even through the bulk of this so-called real estate bubble bursting that we're in. And that is probably due to the fact that people just can't afford to buy it. It's as simple as that. And once they have it, they can't afford to hold it. Take a look at your real estate taxes. Take a look at them. They're ridiculous, and they're only going to get worse. This taxation influence on residential real estate, I believe by 2012 will be, once we hit the bottom, the taxation problem will be what keeps it from recovering. Not just the fact that you can't get a mortgage. Well, when rates go up, believe me, they'll start loaning it to anything that can breathe again. Once they can make a profit on the loan, you better believe you'll get the loan. But even then, it's going to come to a point where a $500,000 home with $12,000 a year taxes is just not going to fly. People don't make that kind of money any longer, and they certainly can't afford to pay to carry it. So there's an issue, and I don't know how we're going to address it, because the communities that build schools, that operate police departments, need the revenues, and the person they're going to come to for the revenue is the homeowner. This is why homeownership is going to lose its luster in the following, or I should say, in the pursuing years. A lot of people our age, late 50s, we're starting to look at our house as a burden, and we're not going to go buy a little condo. We're probably going to rent. And why not? A number of the people who I speak to who want to sell their property, want to sell it quickly, come to me as an auctioneer and say, Mr. Auctioneer, get me out of this big house in the suburbs. I said, well, what's your method? What do you want to do? Where are you heading? A lot of them are moving to the rental market, and I think that's a smart move. I mean, they can't control the deflation, so why should they invest in it? I mean, they can't see it into it. So why not pay rent, even for a couple of years? People, when they're between the empty nest years, let's say they're between 52 and 60 years old, they're young people, they've got plenty of career left in them, but they don't want to put their money out, even on a small townhouse, knowing that they could possibly lose money on the investment in the process and be burdened with taxes. The move towards deleveraging, I mean, this is a trend. People want to get out of debt. They don't want to get in debt. Is also going to have a significant effect on the real estate market. You're going to see much more reluctance to go into a 30-year, multi-$100,000 relationship just to have a nice house. Why not? When you can rent one